Hello, I am Kalerasi. Have you ever wondered why we repeat certain habits even when we are fully aware they are hurting us? Have you ever finished a full meal and still walked into the kitchen just to check if there is something sweet? Have you ever told yourself, this is last episode, and then watched three more? Have you ever added things to your cart that you don't even need just because it felt good in that moment? Or kept refreshing your email hoping for something new? Or replayed an argument in your mind because the emotional intensity felt addictive? It is strange, isn't it? We are not always hungry, not always bored, not always in need, and yet we keep reaching. Reaching for food, reaching for noise, reaching for stimulation. And if we are honest, sometimes we are not even enjoying it. We are just pulled. That invisible pull, that subtle craving, that quiet inner just one more. That is the dopamine trick. What is the dopamine trick? Dopamine is not pleasure, it is anticipation. It rises when your brain senses something rewarding might happen. Not when you eat the cake, but when you see it. Not when you buy the product, but when you imagine owning it. Not when the next episode plays, but when the countdown begins. Your brain lights up at the possibility, and here is the trick. Modern life is filled with engineered anticipation. Unlimited food options, endless streaming platforms, flash sales, gambling apps, sugar-loaded snacks, even dramatic news headlines. Each one whispers, maybe this will make you feel better. And your brain responds instantly. You are not addicted to the object. You are addicted to the emotional promise. That is the dopamine trick. At first, it feels harmless. A little extra snack. One more episode. One more purchase. One more emotional reaction. But slowly, your brain begins to expect constant stimulation. Ordinary life starts feeling flat. Simple meals feel boring compared to junk food. Quiet evenings feel empty without background noise. Slow progress feels frustrating compared to quick excitement. And then something deeper happens. You stop tolerating discomfort. The moment boredom appears, you eat. The moment stress appears, you shop. The moment loneliness appears, you binge something. The moment insecurity appears, you seek validation. We are not feeding hunger. We are feeding emotional discomfort. And dopamine rewards us for escaping it. That is why it becomes a loop. Discomfort, stimulation, temporary relief, crash, more discomfort, repeat. And over time, we lose our ability to sit still with ourselves. How do we break the dopamine trick? Not with shame, not with extreme discipline, but with awareness and retraining. Identify your personal dopamine escape. Everyone's trigger is different. For some, it's sugar. For some, it's online shopping. For some, it's gossip. For some, it's constant productivity to avoid emotions. For some, it's binge watching. Ask yourself, when I feel uncomfortable, what do I run toward? That pattern is your dopamine escape route. You cannot change what you do not notice. Separate hunger from emotion. Next time you reach for something, pause and ask, am I physically hungry or emotionally uncomfortable? This single question creates distance. If it's physical hunger, eat mindfully. If it is emotional discomfort, sit with it. Name it. I feel lonely. I feel stressed. I feel unimportant. I feel bored. Naming emotion reduces its intensity. You stop running, you start understanding. Reduce the intensity of easy rewards. You don't have to remove everything, but reduce the intensity. Less sugar, less autoplay, less impulse buying, less constant background noise. When stimulation decreases, your brain slowly resets. Simple pleasures begin to feel meaningful again. A normal meal tastes better. A slow walk feels calming. A single episode feels enough. You are rebuilding your baseline. Reconnect dopamine to growth. Dopamine is not the enemy. It is powerful when aligned correctly. Exercise releases dopamine. Learning releases dopamine. Creating something releases dopamine. Achieving small goals releases dopamine. But these are slower, they require patience. Start very small, finish one meaningful task daily, celebrate it internally, allow your brain to register. This feels good. Over time, your reward system shifts. You stop chasing stimulation, you start chasing progress. Maybe the real problem is not overeating, not binge watching, not shopping. Maybe the real problem is that we are afraid to sit with ourselves. Because in silence, we hear our thoughts. In stillness, we feel our emotions. And stimulation protects us from that. The dopamine trick is not about pleasure, it is about escape. But here is the truth. The life you want, the clarity, the confidence, the depth. It does not live in constant stimulation. It lives in discomfort tolerated, in slow effort repeated, in quiet moments faced. You are not weak, you are overstimulated. You are not broken, you are conditioned. And conditioning can be undone. The next time you reach for something unnecessary, pause, not to punish yourself, but to ask, what am I really hungry for? Because sometimes it is not food, it is not entertainment, it is not distraction, it is connection, it is meaning, it is peace. And those cannot be found in the next bite, the next purchase, the next episode. They are found in awareness, and awareness is where your power begins. Thank you.